You know that moment when you're watching a superhero movie and think, this one feels different? That's exactly how Superman 2025 grabs you. You didn't even notice the hook until it's already sunk in. Right off the bat, James Gunn tosses you into the action. No rehash of Krypton's long-lost Atlas, no eventually I learn I have powers montage. Superman's already out there flying, battling, breaking headlines. It's fresh, it's clever, and it makes everything that came before feel ancient. Box office numbers? They don't just shine, they blaze. Opening weekend in the US? A thunderous $115,120 million, marking the strongest DC superhero debut in years. Globally, it soared to over $210 million in that very first weekend. Overall, as of now, it's banked a jaw-dropping $611 million worldwide, a remarkable return on that $225 million budget. Don't just take the cash haul as proof. The audience felt it too. Cinema Score gave it an A, and Post-Track showed 86% positive responses, with 74% saying they'd definitely recommend it. Rotten Tomatoes reflects that Buzz2 critics call it fun, earnest, even colorful. The kind of movie you sunburn for emotionally. But let's be human for a second here. No film is perfect. Some critics whispered that it's overstuffed too many characters, too many subplot signals firing at once. There's that sensation of emotional overload sometimes. Less is more. And this thing tries to be both a blockbuster and a small-town drama at once. On the other side, fans on IMDb are laying it on thick or tearing it apart. One user, glowing like July sunshine, writes that it's the most emotionally resonant Superman ever. David Corenswet is called soul-deep, the kind of Clark Kent you actually believe could lift a car or carry your baggage. Gunn's not treating Superman like an untouchable god, he's making him human enough to hug. And then there's the backlash sharp edges in the fandom. Another user called it bright cape, empty core, saying, it feels more Saturday morning cartoon than world-saving epic. He craved weight, emotional build-up instead. He felt tossed into a glossy, fast ride without the emotional elevator. Rated it a 6 out of 10 with a sigh it just didn't land. So, let's put a finger on the pulse of what makes this film tick. The best parts are when the world stops spinning. Lois and Clark's banter? Vintage. It's messy, tender, real. Nick Holt's Lex Luthor? Creepy calm. A villain who lets you warm up before he stabs. And Krypto, yes. The doc, he's the emotional Trojan horse you don't see coming. You laugh, you tear up, and suddenly longing for a pet doesn't seem so crazy. Here's a little cinematic trick. Make it big on screen, but tiny in your heart, and Superman does that. Gunn layers homage to John Williams' original March that warm strain of nostalgia, but wraps it in wit, modern stakes, and human kindness. It's like wearing a superhero costume while folding laundry. Absurd, somehow comforting. Let's not gloss over something fascinating. There were abominable snowmen jokes in toys, but no such scene in the film. Turns out, there was a moment where Superman, injured, is dragged across Antarctica by Krypto and they'd snowmen, but it got cut. Yet the merch remained. Now fans are hungry for those creatures to show up in a sequel. Beyond box office and emotional feats, this movie has kind of relaunched the DC universe. After a string of misses, it reignited hope. Hollywood whispers are that a sequel is already in early development. And with numbers like this, who would stop it? So, what's the bottom line if you skip all stats and talk feeling? Superman 2025 isn't perfectic bumps, occasionally drowns in ambition, and the daunting ensemble cast is crowded. But it's alive. It pulls you in, shakes out your cynicism, and whispers that maybe, just maybe, kindness is still worth the fight. At the end of the day, You'll walk out with a grin or maybe tears in your eyes thinking, "Yeah, I believe in people again." And that's something no CGI blast or flying shot can buy. If you liked the video, please make sure to subscribe to our channel